If you ask a wise elder, what is shamanic journey, they might look at you quite strangely and think, what an odd question. It's a little bit like if you ask them what the forest is, they might be able to describe it, they might be able to tell you about the trees, about the grass, the moss, the sky that is above it, but they will probably recommend you to go to the forest and experience it itself, to feel it, to smell it, to hear it, so you can really get a true experience of what the forest truly is. Because you see, they barely speak through definition. They know that definition is very limiting and it only travels into your logical mind, but it doesn't give you the full living experience. And I fall into the same trap. Every time somebody asks me what shamanic journey is, I tend to lean into explanations that can be approved or logically accepted by most people. I would often lean into definitions that are formed by the anthropologists that study shamanism around the world that would describe shamanic journeying as a tool or a technique that is used for altering your mind by use of trance, rhythm, so you can change your perception. But you see, I find these definitions still very limiting, and it's almost as I try to receive a validation from whoever is asking, because to truly know what shamanic journey is, you need to experience it, you need to live it, you need to feel that moment when you're standing on the threshold and you're facing something that is way greater than yourself, way greater than the world that you know. And as you walk through that threshold and the journey itself is unfolding to you, it really is the first moment when you're starting to realize that none of these definitions fit the true understanding of what shamanic journeying is. When you enter it through stillness, when you enter through the ancient sound of the drum, when you feel like your body and perception is becoming more fluid, where you are awakening your senses that you didn't even know you have, where you're entering interactions and relationships with the unseen world, it is something that the spoken language can never capture. And that is the difficulty. Having said that, let's try to get a little closer to what shamanic journey is and how perhaps different shamans would describe it, just so we try to step out of our comfort zone, out of our definitions that we tend to hear around from either shamanic schools, from shamanic teachers, from the books you may have read, or just things you have heard around. For example, if you speak to a Siberian shaman, they would tell you that shamanic journey is like traveling with purpose, where you go and meet spirits, you speak to them, you seek guidance, you seek healing insights, and you bring something back to the living. You bring something back that can restore balance, that can be retrieved, that was lost, and you try to serve it that way to your own community, to the people, but also to the spirit realms, to restore harmony. If you speak to perhaps a Mongolian shaman, they might say that journeying is like entering relationship with different realms and different worlds that are filled with so many different spirits, ancestors, and powers that are simply not accessible in our limited earthly perception. So we need to be able to enter those realms in order to access it. And by accessing it, you're ultimately also entering a relationship with that world, and you're accepting certain responsibilities that come with it. And again, these responsibilities will be towards the spirit realm as much as responsibility to the living. If you speak to perhaps curandero from Andes, maybe they will tell you that shamanic journey is simply remembering your place in the greater web of life, where you are simply understanding your participation in a family that is made out of more than just the humans. It's remembering your connection to the land, to the community, to yourself, to the elements, and really learning how to live that relationship to its fullest potential, being heart-centered and being of service as well. And if you speak to perhaps Slavic wise woman, she might tell you that shamanic journeying is like entering a threshold where the two worlds meet. She will tell you about places like rivers, edges of the forest, places that create an entry point to a space that is in between, where suddenly we can hear things that we forgot how to listen, that we can see things we can't truly see with our own eyes, and where we enter with respect but also exit with deeper understanding of how to participate in life and how to be more alive, how to be more connected, and how to relate to yourself and to this world unseen. So you see, all these speak to me. I don't have a necessarily favorite definition, or I don't think they exclude each other either. And even if it's still not enough for you, and even if you're still looking for a little bit more logical explanation, I would probably add to it that shamanic journeying is like expanding your awareness, shifting your perception to more fluid, more flowy form, where you can distort the senses that you are used to using in your day-to-day life, or saying even harsher, the one that you've been programmed to use, in order to be a little bit more open to receive what the world is really ready to offer you. Okay, so we've got a little rain. Hopefully I can finish. It really depends if you are approaching it from the mind and you really want to have a justification for why you're entering such a practice, beautiful practice as shamanic journeying, or if you're really approaching it from the heart place, where you're simply looking for a different way to connect to yourself, to the world, to the unseen, to seen, and really participate with a greater sense of contribution and perhaps even responsibility, greater sense of understanding yourself and the world within you and around you. And as we speak about what is shamanic journeying, I do feel like we need to say what shamanic journeying isn't, and that will fill some gaps perhaps in what people might understand this as, and even maybe hopefully clarify some misunderstandings. Because shamanic journeying is not escapism from the world we live in. It's not something we do to exit this world. Yes, we might have a sense of being out of our body a lot of the times. We might have a sense where we're entering completely different lands, completely different realms. But really, this is not so much about experiencing something strange or vivid, or seeking visions or have powerful experiences. In fact, if you are focusing on it, you're not truly doing shamanic journey. You just perhaps attracting experiences that feed your expectation, maybe sometimes even ego, or maybe you're seeking some validation to how you want to see the spirit realm. Shamanic journey is not about performative spirituality. It's about allowing the spirits to talk to you in a language that they want to talk to you in, or the one that you are ready to receive. It's definitely not something we do in order to distract ourselves from sometimes mundane day-to-day realities. Is not something we do to feel our abilities. It's not something we do to feel the thrill or come back and talk about how much access we have to something that other people may not have. It's complete opposite. And a lot of the times, these shamanic journeys may not actually be visuals and vivid. A lot of them will turn into full stillness and silence, where the messages, the insights, the connections will still unfold. A lot of the times, the most rich journeys will unfold themselves just in a one symbol that you see, or perhaps that you suddenly have this deeper knowing of. And it's also very important to address one misconception, that shamanic journey ends where you simply return. And yes, we enter different realms, we go through the threshold, we interact with spirits, we enter relationships, but it truly ends where you actually return, reflect, integrate, and then embody. The true shamanic journey has its end when you live it, when you embody it, when you bring it into life, either through yourself, through your community, or perhaps the person you're working with as a healer. And I think that is the true ending of the journey. It's not just receiving information and returning with it. It's understanding it, and it's really working with it and embodying it, living through it. Finally, let's address who you are during the shamanic journey, because you're not just the traveler, and you're not just a student, you're not just the observer, you're not just healer, you're not just somebody that gathers information. You are actually the bridge. You do become, during shamanic journey, the axis mundi, so something that bridges the unseen and the seen world, something that becomes a channel, a vessel during that time of journeying. So please remember that shamanic journeying is one of the most truly beautiful experiences we have ability to enter with an intention of connection, intention of participating in life deeper, in understanding life deeper, in living through all our senses. And that's really what shamanic journey is. And yes, it may vary how we do some technical parts of it, how we enter it. It may vary for each of the people who journey, or each of the shamans, where they go. The map of the landscape may vary, but the true core essence of what it is, it has to be truly lived through and experiences. And I would love to talk to you more about these lands, these landscapes. I would love to talk to you a little bit more about how to start shamanic journey if you're interested. So I invite you to check out my videos. I'll be covering that in more detail. So there is more coming up, or there is already more on the channel. So please take a little look, or simply get in touch with me if you want to learn more how to start, how to journey, or perhaps how to go deeper in your journeys, how to hear the language of the spirits, how to interpret it, how to embody it. I know this is something that a lot of you experience as a challenge, that you enter the journey and then very often you're not sure how to interpret or how to access the information, or perhaps embody it. So I'm here for you. If you need a little bit more support and guidance, please reach out. Other than that, there'll be more on the channel. So thank you so much for being here with me in this beautiful spot, and I hope you enjoyed just sharing that space with me and learning a little bit more about shamanic journeying. For now, I'm sending you lots of love, joy. I wish you a wonderful day or evening, whatever it is that you're doing, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.